Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. My name's Cindy, Midlife Psychic, and we have so much to cover. I'm gonna get right to it today. So a few things. I have two messages from Spirit today to help us navigate through the energies of September. And I'm sure all of you already know, it's gonna be a doozy, right? The other thing that I wanted to share is that I want to invite you this time to join me in these messages because all of us are intuitive. I always encourage discernment and using your own intuition to see what messages resonate with you, and maybe your spirit team or your higher self wants to share more information to help you through this time. So if you have one handy, maybe you want to grab a pad of paper and a pen so you can write down your impressions of what Spirit has to share, because I think so many of you already get messages yourselves. So the first thing that I wanted to discuss today is a vision for the energy around the month of September. And Spirit gives me visuals, and then I follow it up with the narration. Now, if you're going to be reading with me, I'm going to give you a little bit of how I start the readings, a little insight on what I do. And if you just want to hear the reading, I will put a time stamp in the notes below of when the reading starts. So very briefly, for those of you who want to get your own impressions from the reading, when I start any reading, I always ask for clear messages, the truth, only from the highest vibrational energies. Of course, there's always white light protection, and the two most difficult things are the last two, and that is release of ego and release of attachment to outcome. It is very hard for us to go into something where we aren't attached to a certain outcome, because then we get involved with the process and the reading can be inaccurate. So before I did these readings, I always set my intention. I have music. I do a certain process. So if you want to take a minute to just breathe, pause the video, set your intentions, and push start whenever you're ready. So the first images I was given when I asked Spirit to share about the energies of September was a glass of water sitting on a kitchen table. And it was half full. And someone was pouring water into this glass. And they were pouring it too quickly and too much. And it began to overflow from the glass onto the table. And then from the table onto the chairs, and then onto the floor until it was flooding the kitchen space. Now, for those of you who are getting impressions, pause it here and see what you get from this imaging that I got from Spirit. When you're ready, put it back on and I will share what I got. The message that I got from this image of water going into the glass and overflowing is twofold. Number one, there will be a lot of water events on the planet. Number two, water represents emotion. The overflow of emotional energy in September will be undeniable. There is too much being poured into our glasses right now. We can't take much more. The energy on the planet it's too much, too fast, and it is overflowing, and it is going to be something that we will need to keep an eye on so that we don't get emotionally triggered. The next stage of this vision is the water flowing from the kitchen out the front door into a river. And now I see an actual river. And on that river is one individual, either it's a canoe or a kayak, and they're on the water and they have some paddles and they're floating down the river and things seem to be okay. But as time goes on, the river starts picking up momentum. And at this point, we are being reminded that we have paddles. We have a way to control our direction. We have a way to navigate the direction we want to go. Don't forget your paddles. As the vision goes on, the water becomes more quick moving, and now it becomes rapids. And the individual in the canoe now feels like, from a first person perspective, now I'm in the canoe and I'm seeing these rapids coming up, and it's starting to make me worry, like this is moving too fast. What am I going to do? And now I'm looking at the person in the canoe and I'm reminding them, use your paddles. So the paddles are being used to keep the canoe from tipping over. The rapids pick up pace. And what is interesting here is I only see one individual on the water. To me, that represents this is an individual journey. This is a journey that each one of us will be taking on our own and will need to handle in the way that is best for the individual. Now, the rapids become more dangerous. And looking ahead, there is a vision of a waterfall. And it's not a mild waterfall, it's a big waterfall. And the message is, you can steer away from this. Use your muscles. And so the person in the canoe is using their muscles and they're steering away from the waterfall. And they use a rock that's right next to the waterfall. They have to come really close to it to get to that big boulder that they're going to push off of. And as they get to the edge of the waterfall and they see that boulder, they look down and they see how far that drop could have been. They use all of their muscles and they push into the direction of the land. And as they head over to the shore, their arms are shaking. They have just enough energy left to pull their canoe up onto the shore, climb out of the boat, and pass out of exhaustion. But it doesn't stop there. When the person wakes up, they look around and they see all these other people and their canoes on the shore with them. And the realization that while this is an individual journey, that everyone will negotiate with their paddles or whatever tools that they have in a different way, we all end up on shore together. And we're all in this journey, though it may have felt separate, experiencing it together. September is going to feel like we need to use all of our muscles. And while the journey is individual, in the end we will see that we were a stronger group and stronger individuals than what we thought. The second part of what I received has to do with my questioning of when this gets to be too much. What advice can we be given on how to deal with it on days that it seems overwhelming? And what I received on that message was a very different image. And the images that I got were cartoons. I don't usually get cartoons, but I got cartoons. Not only are they cartoons, but they're old-fashioned cartoons, like black and white, like Steamboat Willie is the closest thing that I could think to of the style of these cartoons. And it's a cartoon of two dogs, cartoon dogs, in cartoon race cars on a cartoon racetrack. And one dog is just like a little more timid dog, and he's on the bottom part of the curve. And the other dog is kind of like a disruptive dog, and he's on the upper part of the racetrack. And they're posturing to start, and the disruptive dog is antagonizing the other dog and threatening the other dog and zooming. They shouldn't be starting it, but he's like edging ahead. And both dogs start out the race gate, but the distracted, the dog that's there to cause chaos, is all over, intimidating the other dog, who just keeps going, but is frightened because this dog is going to crash right in front of him. But he keeps going. And this devil dog is all over the place, thinking that what he can do is intimidate and scare this other dog to quit the race. But what happens in this vision is that dog that is so focused on scaring the other dog ends up crashing. And the other little dog just keeps going. And I thought, oh, I get it. This is slow and steady wins the race, right? And I heard no. It's steady and determined wins the race. Reinforcing that, know the direction that you want to go. Know the outcome that you want. Keep steady, even with the chaos. And of course, at the end, the little dog crosses the finish line. And the message to that is, know where you want to go, focus on that. Determined and steady wins the race. And when it becomes too much, see it as a cartoon. Step away and remove yourself from it for the moment that you need, and look at it all as an observer. Be the observer watching the cartoon on the day where it seems like too much. And then when you're feeling better, go back to the other narrative, grab your paddles, and keep rowing in the direction that you want. So I hope that that is helpful. I hope that it is inspiring. And let me know what you get that might add to that input from Spirit. Put it in the comments below, and let's see if we can continue that story. Now, the other thing that I wanted to cover today is the winner of our subscriber contest. We have hit the 1,500 mark today as I'm making this video, and I'm super excited to post the winner's name on this video here. I want to thank my daughter, who is also my editor, for compiling all the names and putting it on the wheel. And I don't know how she did it, but she's awesome. And thank you to her for doing the wheel for us. And she's going to push the spin button, and we're going to display the winner's name. That winner should email me at the email on my YouTube here, which is, it's right down below. Just send me an email and say I'm the winner. We'll post your YouTube handle name up here. But I look forward to hearing from you and giving you the reading. So I wanted to thank all of you who have subscribed and helped make me feel so appreciative and thankful for you supporting me. And this is my way of giving back. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.